He's a two-time Super Bowl champion and the New York Football Giants' all-time leader in career rushing touchdowns. Brandon Jacobs, thanks so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. What an honor to be here and ready to have some fun.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mentioned Giannis might be a little starstruck to see you here. He's the biggest Giants fan I know.
Giannis is the coolest guy on the planet, then.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're off to a great start. I mean, you know, this is like a dream come true. You're responsible for two of the greatest nights of my life, two of the greatest games in football history. It's just good to see you, my friend. Thank you.
Hey, man. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you for all the support over the years. And even though when things were ugly, guys like you sat in there and we gave you the gift you deserve.
Yes.
Okay, now Giannis is just going to clip that and play it on repeat around his house on speakers. You know, speaking of fans and interactions with fans, I saw a tweet where you were somewhere with your kids and someone asked for a picture and you said, "I'm not Brandon Jacobs today." I really liked that. Can you elaborate on priorities when you're with your family versus your love for the fans?
You know, depending on the person, that situation could get kind of ugly.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't have a clear understanding or if they don't see people like me often, so they never get that opportunity again, so they kind of take it in a bad way. You know, but I am nice to them. I even put my hand on them and tell them, hey, listen, I'm not Brandon today. I'm Dad. You know, because the thing that, like some of the things that happen, which I don't mind taking the picture, even when I'm with my family. At times, I don't mind taking the picture, but when there's a bunch of people around and I notice all these people looking at me crazy, I notice that. So if I stop, and we was at Six Flags, so and we was in Jersey, so I'm like, everybody really know who I was. So if I would have stopped and taken one picture with that one person, I would have to be there all day taking pictures, and I wouldn't have got to enjoy my family, wouldn't have got the chance to enjoy some rides and stuff like that. So I just told everyone no, because I wasn't in that mode right then. You know, I was there to have fun with my family.
Yeah, and I'm sure they got the message real quick. I mean, you know, you're as they would say, not a small guy. So it's like if you told me, hey, I'm Dad today, I'm going to be like, you know what? I apologize, sir. Sir, I apologize.
No, I mean, but you get some people that's like, do you know how aggressive the New York, New Jersey people are? They're some aggressive people, you know.
Yes.
That's fair enough to say, right?
Oh,
and,
yeah, they go, yeah.
Yeah, you know, some don't mind telling you, like, all right, then, blah, 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 or blah, 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 or you suck anyway, you know, Giants, you know, like, stuff like that. Like, you hear it all, you know, but, you know, I mean, I just got to keep moving. You know, people entitled to feel the way they want to feel, especially when they don't get an opportunity to see someone often and they want to take advantage of the opportunity. I get that, you know, but I'm not screwing up my family time to be out here taking pictures with 200 people and I don't get a chance to enjoy my kids and, you know, my family.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure most of the feedback's been positive, though, right? I mean, you won 2 Super Bowls against the evil empire. So, like, I'm sure you got a lot of, hey, how you doing, Brandon? I love you. Can you kiss my wife or something? Would you baptize my child? I love you. Thank you for what you did. Come over. Can we get some pizza together, Brandon? What's the craziest thing a fan has said to you?
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow, Brandon? Come on over to the house. We'll eat some nice Italian food. We'll sit there. We'll watch The Sopranos, and we'll just have fun.
Oh, God.
So it's all kinds of stuff. Like I got invited to a wedding. I got invited to a birth of a child.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, well, they named the kid Brandon Jacob.
Oh my God.
Brandon Jacob. Forgot the last name, but it ended with an O.
Olivia.
No, I'm saying the last name, it ended with an O. Brandon Jacob, Jacob. Their last name ended with an O. That's all. That's all I can remember. But yeah, was invited to the birth of that child. Yeah.
I was gonna name my daughter. Scored the winning touchdown against Dallas Cowboys in the NFC champ. I was gonna name my daughter Brandon Jacobs. Scored the winning touchdown against Dallas. That's what I was gonna name my daughter.
And then Gigi just had a better ring.
Yeah, I had a better ring. My wife wasn't too crazy about it.
No, that's you know, and that's a really long name.
Yeah.
kind of glad you didn't do that.
You made such an impact on so many people, Giannis included, for your time with the Giants, but you also made some headlines this summer when there were rumors you were thinking of making a comeback as a defensive end. Why? What? And how close was this to happening?
Well, I kind of backed up off of it now. Really though, you guys really want to know what it's about?
Yep.
So we were out training, me and my kids. We were out training, was pushing the sled, doing some speed and agility, and I kind of had a moment where I'm like, dude, I wish you guys were older. Like, I wish your mom would, and I wish she'd have decided to have you guys when we was in college.
Oh.
Right? Which I tried to do that, but she wasn't feeling it. She wasn't feeling it. So, like, why? I said, well, because maybe you guys would have got a chance to see me play. And how heavy you guys are in the sports now. Like, I think you would have really been impressed with what you saw. You watched me play and my team. And my youngest son says, go back and play. I'm like, well, go back and play. I think you can do it. I said, if I do it, I have to go back at a defensive end. Why defensive end? Because it's just doing one thing. First and second down, you squeezing down when the tackle leaves to stopping the run. Third down, you're getting after the quarterback. It's simple. I think I'm faster than most of them now, stronger and bigger than most of them now. So I think I can do that. And that's how we got to where we were. I made some headlines, called my agent. I talked to my agent. He reached out to some teams. They had some playing with it in the back of their mind, like the Lions and the Chargers.
Wow.
Played with it a little bit, and it just went away. And I stopped focusing on it and started coaching high school football and really never looked back.
Wow. That's an incredible story. It piqued my interest on something you said, that you wish your kids remembered you playing. My husband plays basketball. We're pregnant with our first right now. And we kind of sped it up a couple years because of that reason. I said, I want our kids to go see dad play a game. That's so cool to me and so unique. Do your kids have any recollection? Like, how old's your oldest?
My oldest is 14. So Brady was 7 years old when we moved here. And thank God for YouTube, YouTube though. Like, they go on there and they YouTube and they look at it. But what I want them to see, they see highlights. I want them to see a whole game and how I respond throughout the course of a 4-quarter game with positives and negatives. When dealing with adversity, when you think you're gonna get cut type stuff, or when you get demoted, or when they want to give you a pay cut. Like, how do you deal with it? I want them to see that part of it, not so much the football, because like I said, it's YouTube. They can see that. I'm all over YouTube. So I just wanted them to be able to see the stuff I go through. And I think if they would have seen that, they would have had, like, they want to play football in the NFL, right? So I wanted them to have the whole gamut, the whole picture of what comes with that. So you could really make a decision off what you've seen and what you've learned from watching me go through it type thing. So, I mean, there's a lot of, so that's the type of stuff I wish they would have been around for.
Well, the good news is your stories aren't going anywhere. You can tell them your stories forever and so many lessons learned. But that's really well said. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
You've made a few tweets I've seen recently where you talked about that defenses don't win championships. Can you elaborate on, because that's the adage that we always hear in sports, is that defense wins championships. What do you mean by that?
Well, when I asked, I said, does defense still win championships? Meaning these high-scoring games. It seems like who has the ball last. These high-scoring games, you got a team that scores 62 and another team scores 58 points in the football game. That's the last person to have the ball. Did anybody get stopped the whole game? Is the defense even relevant in today's football? Is it?
Right.
I mean, they line up in the spread. They're throwing the ball all around the field. They're doing all of this different stuff. They're putting all these points on the board really fast, like really fast-paced offense. And both teams run the same thing, and they scoring all these points. Like, does defense really matter in today's football? Does it really? Or is it who get the coin toss and who get the ball at halftime, depending on the game? Who turns the ball over here and there? Who tips the ball into an interception? Who fumbles it? Stuff like that changed the game. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that defense wins championships anymore.
Wow. Has anything changed in the game that you can recognize that made that so?
Well, I mean, for a team that can put the ball on the ground, let's say, for instance, the Tennessee Titans, when they had Derrick Henry, no longer have Derrick Henry. But when they had Derrick Henry, they wasn't putting up these numbers. That was these crazy numbers like, 45, 50 points. They wasn't putting those numbers up. They was scoring 28, 31 points, stuff like that. That's normal. That's the only normal football team in the National Football League, you ask me, the Tennessee Titans. That's why I like watching them play. But when people started running the spread and running all this West Coast motion and jets and screens to the outside and dual threat quarterback, that kind of made everybody kind of get away from the old-fashioned running game, right? So the way those offenses came about is having the bigger guys on the field on defense have to cover a small wide receiver in the slot. So now, so what do? They go out and they drive the outside linebacker that's 6'3", 6'4", 215 pounds. There's no way in hell when I was playing the guy at 215 pounds is going to stop me. It's just never going to happen. But those guys are effective now because they're not made to tackle. They're not made to come up and hit the lead blocker in the hole and stop the run. They're made to go out, flank out to the slot and cover the slot wide receiver and have a part of the coverage because they can run. They got size. They got long arms. So that's how they drafted guys, linebackers today. They drafted fast, smaller defensive ends that's like 6'2", 6'3", 240 pounds that's using speed to get upfield to get to the quarterback. Those guys aren't stopping the run. Those guys aren't going to stop a pulling guard from kicking them out. They're not going to stop that. So Tennessee Titans have stuck to that game plan from the 90s and the early 2000s, which is why they've been successful in the last couple of years. But it makes teams draft different. It makes teams draft different by the way they play on offense, especially for defense.
Okay, wow. You mentioned you're a high school coach now. Are you the head coach or OC?
I am the assistant head coach, and I coach the running backs at St. Francis High School, a really small private school in Alpharetta, Georgia. We just lost the first round of the playoffs on Saturday.
Oh, sorry.
And that was our first time hosting a home playoff game in school history. So we're going up from here. I think we're going to win the state championship the next 3 years.
Oh, I like that. You're giving me Friday Night Light vibes. I'm loving it. Now, I would think coming from your position that dealing with high school talent, and no disrespect to your guys, that would be really infuriating when you're playing with the best of the best at every position.
Yeah, but I think in our region we kind of have that.
Yeah, you're right.
We kind of have that. I think in our region, the region that we're in, I think we got the best quarterback. I think we got the best running backs. I think we got the best offensive line. I think we got the best players. Period. Mm-hmm. Here's the issue. They're 14 years old.
Yeah.
They have to go out and compete against 18-year-olds. So we had a rough season. We went 5-5. We lost the first 5 games and came back and ripped off 5 straight in our region. And got a second. We took second in the region and ended up getting a home playoff game. And I think because we had 18 freshmen on the team, and 12 of those guys were starting out of 40 players. We're only losing. We have 4 seniors. 2 of them really played. So we're only losing 2 guys coming in the next year. And we got the same young team that we're bringing back. We got some of the top. We got 2 top offensive linemen in there that got offs from all kinds of people. And we're just gonna keep building. And like January we come, we're gonna hit the weight room. We're gonna get stronger. We're gonna get faster. We're gonna get after it. I want to see how bad they want it.
Boy, you already sound like a coach. You sound like you've been doing this for years.
Well, this is my 4th year coaching high school football. This is my 4th year. I love it. I love it. I got a great head coach, Coach Frank Barton, great guy, older guy. He's an old-fashioned guy. So I'm the bridge between him and the kids.
Yep.
I'm the bridge. He thinks you got to do this and do that. I'm like, Coach, okay, hold on. Mm-hmm. These guys are different. It's a different era. Let's go at it like this.
That's important.
Yeah, you're right. And we work together on it. He's more Coach Coughlin, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm the bridge. So I kind of tell them what Coach expected you, and I tell Coach, well, Coach, this kid, his attitude isn't the best. We're gonna work on him, but we're gonna work on him slow. Just get him doing something that's fun for him, and let's see if we can move him on in a different place later on, like that. All right, Coach. Let's get it. So me and my head coach, we work pretty good together.
Speaking of Tom Coughlin, as everyone knows, you were part of 2 of the most exciting Super Bowls ever, came out on top. He seemed to have Belichick's number. What was it that Tom Coughlin prepared? Like, what was it in the preparation? How was he able to take down that Goliath 2 years?
Well, discipline and toughness, right? And what we know and what we knew, the Patriots had the discipline. They had that, but they did not have the toughness.
Wow.
And Coach Coughlin would always say, look at the guys. They throw the ball all around. Nobody hit them in their mouth. Wide receivers are catching the ball, falling to the ground, and they touching them. How about somebody spear his ass when he go down there? How about somebody do that? How about somebody lay some helmet and shoulder pads on somebody out there? Hey, let's get Tom Brady thinking if you really want to drop back and throw the football. Hit him at all costs. Any opportunity you get to hit him, hit him. Hit him. Cut the offensive lineman down, like stuff like that. Create a hole, like toughness. So that's what we did. We went out there and we hit him. We bumped into him after the play. We pushed him. We talked noise to him. We did all of that. So I think it was more like putting our toughness down and more intimidating because they were the head honcho of the NFL. Like, who's going to talk and treat the Patriots this way? Oh my God! I dare they to do that to the Patriots, right?
Right.
We didn't care about that. We didn't care about that. We just know we had to go out and be tougher than them. We had to get up off the ground every time.
Did you ever try to kick a field goal between Michael Strahan's teeth?
No, I never tried. I never tried to do that. But the stuff, the money, that gap has made that man crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy. Like that dude. It was born with a bank.
Yeah.
That gap, and not just the gap. When Strahan is Strahan is an astronomical man, great leader. He's busted his ass to be where he is. He's gotten everything he deserved. We went through a lot of stuff early on, and he's just bounced back from it, man. I mean, Strahan is the epitome of that dude. You know, he is that dude.
Yeah. I'm really fascinated by Michael Strahan. I listen to him anytime he's on another podcast because I'm not sure when the man sleeps with his GMA obligations, hopping back and forth, coast to coast, his, suit line, all of this. And I mean, what was he like back in the day as a player? Like, do you think as an entrepreneur and media personality, it's even dialed up sharper than ever? Or was he always like this?
He was always like this.
Wow.
But I'm not sure. I can't tell you whether he was working on this stuff when he was playing or not, because he was dedicated to us.
Yeah.
He gave us him for 3 years. He gave us him every week. Gave us everything he had. So I'm not sure if he had anything extra going on at that time. Maybe he had some stuff set up to jump right into, but he gave us him. He gave us the guy we needed. So like I said, and if he was doing all of that while giving us the guy we needed, the Strahan that we needed, then he's always been busy.
No, I think the least busy he ever was when he was playing football. The man is crazy busy now.
Right. So he's earned everything he's getting. I mean, a guy that's kind of who I want to be like.
Wow.
I started doing this stuff with ESPN this year, calling college games and stuff like that. I was hoping I get another opportunity next year. I want to start my own podcast. I got all this equipment right here in my basement right now. I just never happened to come down and set up anything. Lights, speakers, like everything to set up for my podcast. I just procrastinating, I guess.
Yeah, you'll get around to it. You're a busy man too. I wanted to ask you about calling college football games. I've been at ESPN the last 5 years doing the same as a sideline reporter. And this year I'm only doing the SEC championship, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. I went to Georgia. But what people don't realize about a game broadcast, and I'm curious if you didn't know this until you got into it, is all the people it takes to put this thing on air and all of the prep it takes all week to put this thing on air. What were your biggest surprises when you finally got in the booth and did it?
Realizing how easy it really was because they're giving you all of this information, right?
That's not the answer I was looking for. Don't tell people it's easy.
No. Listen, I'm gonna get there. I promise. Given like these cards and stuff with every player, in bold on it. They stats for the season. What they did last week, and it's right here on the table in front of you. Now, me in the broadcasting booth, I'm not seeing on TV until from the beginning to halftime. Right, and maybe the end of the game, so I can sit there and read and rip this stuff off. Rip this stuff off. Now, the difficult part that I did not know happened the men in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
The men in the truck. Now, for us, when I did the 2 games at Texas Tech, we didn't have the man in the truck. Our broadcasting was off-site.
Remote,
It was in Las Vegas. So that created a little bit of a delay from the TV to us talking. So we had to wait. And all these different buttons that you have to press for replay, playback, your cough button, you press, you cough, like all kinds of different stuff. I had like 10 different people in my headset telling me, okay, Brandon, you talk about this when we come off a commercial, or talk about that play when we come off a commercial. Hey, go back and look at this and which angle you wanted it. Well, I wanted at the end zone shot behind the defense. It was a passing touchdown, so I need to see and be able to analyze how that touchdown came in the passing game and the breakdown in the coverage.
Yep.
So I need it behind the defense. So they're giving you all of this stuff, and you got to ask for this stuff while the game's going on. And you got to press all these different buttons and all these different people talking to you.
Yeah.
It's crazy the amount of people that it takes to be able to do that. And all of these games on TV, they got to have a bunch of people working.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we probably had about 10 to 15 different guys working our game. That's just one game. Just one game.
That's a small crew.
Yeah, that's a small crew. So think about all the other games that they may have that may be 30 guys, 35 guys working the game. So it's a lot of work. You know, but what I meant easy is it's like to give you the information to talk about. So that's just about it. But I really enjoyed it, and I wish coming around the next year I get another opportunity.
Yeah. See, I never got those cards with all the stats on it. I always had to do my own. What the hell?
Well, you're a sideline reporter though. Like you're a sideline person. Like you're going to be on TV and
Hustle,
stuff
man.
like that, and you're going to get information from the coaches during, like, before the game and halftime, and put them on like that. Your job is kind of hard. It's hard. I don't think
some
I can
would
do
say
your
it's
job.
really hard.
It's hard though. I think it is.
Giannis is just loving this episode. This is the Giannis
I love
episode.
it. Yeah, I think I want to be a sports reporter after this.
Yeah, it's easy.
Hey.
Anyone can do it.
I'm going to stop doing comedy. I'm going to be a sports reporter.
Just make sure you go in the booth, because that sideline stuff is not easy.
Yeah.
Let me ask you before we get to Giants questions, because we got a few of those. But you mentioned Derrick Henry. You guys were 2 big, fast, bruising backs. If it was between you and him, and you were in a sumo wrestling contest, who's pushing who out more? Who's winning it? Who's winning between you and Derrick Henry?
Well, I got to be honest. I think he would win. Here's why. Not that he's tougher than me, because I don't think that's the case. But he trains like no one I've ever seen in my life. I've never trained like that. I've never did some of the things he does. The type of training he does. You know what my training was? Making sure I had good wind, make sure I was strong. I didn't run up hills with resistance. I didn't have a weight vest on, jumping over stuff. I wasn't doing the type of stuff that he's doing to get ready for a season. I was just making sure I was in shape and my weight was down and make sure I was strong. So I got to give him the edge when it comes to that. Now, boxing-wise, wouldn't even be close.
You tag him up, you touch him, you stretch him out.
Boxing-wise, he probably stronger. Got to play. Have leverage, because I'm an inch taller than him. So I'll give him the sumo wrestling match. I'll give him that one.
Let's talk Giants and those Super Bowls, because just for me, it really is nice to think about. It was beautiful. They were the 2 biggest upsets, maybe, of all time. What were some of your favorite moments in those games?
Well, leading up to the game, right away, the first Super Bowl, when we beat the Packers in the NFC Championship game, the fun stuff started to come. We started getting all this information about Super Bowl, having to go and stay in Arizona for a week and use the Arizona Cardinals facilities and, so on and so forth. That stuff was really fun, but leading up to the week and, going through practicing and everybody's excited and, coming out to the game, these interviews, these guys started doing, and, Tom Brady talking and Randy Moss talking and Plexico Burress doing his thing. It made it so much fun for me, because I was that guy who was talking. So, okay, now I got other people talking. Oh, this is about to be fun. But the Super Bowls were no question, man. That's one of the greatest times of my life. And, going through the week, just spending time with your teammates off site from your regular facility, going around Phoenix, just having fun, man. It just knowing you got this mission that you have to complete, and it was awesome, man. It was a time of my life that probably that a lot of people won't ever be able to experience.
That's incredible. I know we talked about Strahan. I also wanted to ask you about another teammate, Eli Manning. I'm sure a lot of your high school players ask you about Eli or the Mannings in general. What was Eli like in the huddle, and what was he like Super Bowl week?
Eli in the huddle, he's a guy that comes in like, hey man, okay, let's go, no mistakes, let's minimize the mistakes and turnovers, let's just do what we need to do, everybody do their job, and we're gonna win the game, right? If everybody do what they're supposed to do on every play, we're gonna win the game, right? That's the way it goes. Eli was a guy who was kind of calm, low key demeanor. He wasn't that vocal leader unless he was pissed. Unless somebody just keep doing something wrong. Like he got on me one time. I missed a blitz in practice, and I'm like, all right, E, I got you. Well, they kind of disguised the coverage a little bit on that Sunday. I missed the same blitz.
Oh man.
He went like he didn't demean my person, my character that all, but he just made sure I knew that he was upset with me. And Eli, like I said, he's a quiet leader. He don't say much. He gave that to me. I was the vocal leader. I was the emotional leader of the team because that's just what just what it was. Like after Strahan left, we didn't have that vocal guy, and I kind of took that over. So, but Eli is this calm guy. He want to think straight. He ain't got time for the rah-rah. He ain't got time for none of that. You guys go over there and do the rah-rah while I go get this clipboard and see what we got next.
Wow, I like that.
So he's an awesome guy. Like me with my personality, I don't think I could have played with any other quarterback other than Eli. I couldn't play with Phillip Rivers, right? I couldn't play with a guy like that, right? Because I'm seeing him grab his teammates. I'm seeing him push his teammates. I'm seeing him do all of that. I'm not cut for that. So Eli's demeanor was perfect for me to have as a teammate. And why I wouldn't pick no other person to be my quarterback other than him.
What do you think of the Manning cast, and is the curse real? Because every player that goes on, their team loses the next week.
Well, they're all the new Madden. They say they're all the new Madden
curse.
But I think that show is hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. And people keep telling me that I need to try to get on that show.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's got to be somebody that they want on the show. You got to, it can't just say, hey, let me get on. Like people think that I could just make these calls and just make stuff happen. That's not the case. But I think the show is hilarious, and I think they're doing an awesome job. And I think they definitely have some longevity with that show for years to come. I think they'll be out there and they'll have a lot of views. I love watching them.
Giants coming up against your old nemesis. The Bucks, they're about to play. Do the Giants have a chance this coming week?
Well, from the looks of things right now, I think Tampa dropped their last two. And I'm not sure if the Giants have won their last two. So I'm not quite sure if Tampa is going to be in the mind frame of an easy game or not because of the Giants' record and how they started the season. But I do definitely think if we can move the ball offensively on the ground, I think we got a chance to win outside because I don't think there's a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of wide receivers still hurt. They all still hurt.
I don't know if Sterling is, but I saw at running back Saquon's practicing this week, and the Giants are fresh off a bye, and they beat the Raiders the week before. So a little momentum in New York.
A little momentum. They went down to I would say they won 2 in a row. They went down to the wire with Kansas City.
Yeah, they did.
And who's a really good football team. I'm not sure what's wrong with their team right now at this point, but really good, talented football team who played in the Super Bowl the last 2 years. I think the Giants, they played with them pretty well. I think they can beat Tampa if they can get Brady on the ground, right? I think they can get Tom Brady on the ground. I think we'll be okay. with the ball in his hand, obviously.
They look kind of vulnerable. I got to say, that would be quite the upset if the Giants could pull that one off. Hey, speaking of the Giants, we have a little game that we want to play with you. Are you game to play our game?
I'm game to play your game.
Okay, cool. It's a quick game. Are you familiar at all with the late 80s, early 90s Brooklyn alt-rock band called They Might Be Giants?
No, we can't play that game. I'm not familiar with that.
Neither am I. I've never heard of them.
I was born in 1982 and never listened to rock.
Well, it's not important. We don't need to know who they are because in this game, since you spent a majority of your career with the New York Giants, we are going to test your knowledge of their players. So we're going to give you a name. You'll have to tell us if they were a Giant or not. So the game is called They Might Be Giants. Okay. Okay, let's start with an easy one. Hall of Fame quarterback, Kurt Warner.
He was a Giant.
Absolutely.
2004 from 2001, 2002 to 4, I want to say.
No, it was just one season, 2004, right before Eli and Manning came in.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay.
Got
That one.
All right, he lost the heavyweight championship to a guy named Hulk Hogan, and his first name was Andre. Was he a Giant?
No, he's a Giant, but he wasn't a New York Giant.
Right, he had giantism, and he was from France.
Yeah.
That's okay. Okay, what about cornerback Antonio Cromartie?
No, wasn't a Giant.
Very good. You're two for my take. Antonio played for the Chargers, Jets, Cardinals, and Colts.
Okay, how about this one? Hall of Fame kicker, and I'll try to say this Swedish, Morten Andersson.
No. Oh, he did play with the Giants, but I remember Martin Anderson when he was with the Saints.
Yeah, one season, 2001, he was a Giant.
2001, he was a Giant. Yeah, okay. I remember him from the Saints.
You know what? I get it, though. Kickers are easy to forget.
Oh, man, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I love my guy Lawrence Tynes. My guy, I can tell you all the guys I played with. I played with Lawrence Tynes and I played with Jay Feely. Both two great guys.
I like that. Okay, this one's kind of a trick question. Hall of Fame cornerback Deion Sanders.
No.
Well, kind of.
No Giants.
He never played for the New York Giants. He played for the San Francisco Giants. Told you it was a trick.
So now there's those kind of twists in this game then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, just Giants. You never see New York Giants. Okay.
Yeah. Seeing if you're paying attention.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, how about this one? Running back and Madden 12 cover athlete Peyton Hills.
Peyton Hillis did play with the Giants. I played with him.
Very good.
There it is.
2013,
2014. Yeah.
My last season.
Okay, linebacker James Harrison.
No.
Very good. He played Steelers, Bengals, Patriots. Very good.
I
don't even remember him with the Bengals.
That might have been one season.
All right, final. They might be Giants. This is another trick question here, so I'm giving you a little help there. This is Buster Posey.
Buster Posey. Trick question. Yeah, you got me with that one. I don't know that.
I guess we were just testing your baseball knowledge because he was a recently retired catcher, and he was on the San Francisco Giants. So, I
should have figured that. Now, I did know that when you said trick question.
Yes, you knew he was a Giant.
I knew it was San Francisco Giants. I know, but I just, like I say, was thinking like, I don't know, because I don't know a lot about baseball.
Yeah.
Who
needs to?
I just know they make all of this money.
Yes. I was about to say, the two things I learned about you is you don't like rock music and you do not know or like baseball.
I am a Atlanta. I've been an Atlanta Braves fan since the '90s. Ever since I can remember anything about baseball, and I've been liking the Braves ever since.
Awesome.
And we are world champions, obviously.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's the only team I really pay attention to.
Well, I would say you do know your Giants, Brandon. You played really well in that game, so thanks so much for playing along with us. Everyone, you can follow Brandon Jacobs on Twitter at BrandonJacobs27. Brandon, thanks so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Hey, thanks for having me. It was fun.